Hey everyone, welcome to Fed Legacy Live tonight. Just a couple of things before we begin. We will be getting started at 7:30. If you're new to joining us, I know we are a couple of new faces. We'll get a proper introduction as soon as we get started. As you guys are waiting for us to get started, there's a couple of ways for that we're looking to engage with you guys. Please use the chat if this is your first time joining us tonight. Let us know where you're from. We want to get to know you guys and interact with you guys in a little more personal manner. Also, we know a lot of you guys are joining us because you have questions about everything that's going on. So go ahead and click the Q&A button below. It's the button with the question mark at the bottom. Let us know what questions you have. We'll answer some of those questions live, and we do have a dedicated Q&A section towards the end. We'll be sure to answer all of your questions. Also, we do have a couple of polls that will be going out. Our first one is now live, so there is a button for you to select the poll. And within tonight's theme tonight, our first poll is how many of you guys have experienced a federal shutdown before? We know some of you guys are already answering. You've been through several, and a lot. There's some of you guys are spending your time in the federal government, right? So you've been through quite a bit. But as we let each other come through, my name's JC. I'm from Lubbock, Texas, so that's where I'm joining from. And my great colleague here, Mike. Where are you joining us from, Mike?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Ooh, how's the weather?
Amazing.
And guys, if you guys are joining for the first time, say hello in the chat. Don't be shy. We want to get to know where you're coming from. Everything been all right today, Mike?
Everything so far so good. So far so good. Just can't watch the news too much these days. But other than that,
Yeah, you can't get lost in the sauce.
Can't stop watching, but have to watch, so can't get lost.
Fantastic. So guys, if this is y'all's first time, we know we are a couple of new faces. Will is out on vacation this week. So we're using this opportunity to try a new format and just, get a little more personable with you. We do have quite a bit of people joining us now. Again, we are going to get started at 7:30 or just around 7:30. So please bear with us as we let people roll in.
And if you've been in the Facebook, the Fed Legacy Facebook group, I used to do a lot of things in there, as far as like little talks and little Friday talks. But if you're new, those videos are there. If you're part of the Facebook group, you can definitely go back and find those.
Fantastic. It looks like we got somebody joining us from Boston. You been up to Boston? Mike?
I have a friend that stays in JP. So whoever from Boston, let me know if you know about JP.
Great to meet you, Marianne. If you're just joining the chat, guys, we'll get started in just a couple of minutes. Please let us know in the chat where you're joining us from. Also, we do have a live poll. We are curious if you've been through federal shutdowns before. Let us know. We're just here to get to know you guys and answer some questions, right? To those of you new guys that are joining us just now, we saw a couple of you guys roll in. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes as we let people come in. We have a couple of people joining us from suburban Detroit, fantastic, and Prince George's County, Maryland. You familiar with those?
PG County.
I need to go out there.
Yeah, it's probably you haven't been to DC yet. Not just moved to Atlanta. I lived in DC for 7 years. So
Fantastic. Well, it seems like the East Coast is kind of taking over our chat. So, again, welcome every single one of you guys. Before we get started, just a couple of things to say. Please use the chat to say hello, share where you're joining us, where you're joining from. Please, be personable, answer questions. We want to get to know you guys. If you guys already have questions, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A section. We'll answer some of those live and others towards the end during our Q&A section. And we do have a couple of polls that we would love for you guys to engage with. They'll pop up throughout the session. Just click the post button at the bottom and you can engage with those. But let's go ahead and get started, guys.
all right, sounds good.
With tonight, tonight is shutdown day 15 of the federal government, right? And so we want to present you guys with real strategies for federal employees. Me and Mike are going to answer some questions for you guys. Mike's going to give us a rundown of everything. But before we get started, I do want to give an official introduction to who we are. My name is JC Lopez. I'm the marketing director for Fed Legacy. I'm extremely proud to be here and get to know you, each and every one of you guys. We are delivering a new format for tonight, so it may look a little bit different to everyone. And then to my right, for my side, is my great colleague and senior advisor, Mike Burns. Mike, can you give us a brief introduction?
Yeah, I'm Michael Burns. Some of you may know me, some may not. I do dual roles here at Fed Legacy, CEO, senior advisor. If you have a question, I can probably find you an answer.
Fantastic. Before we dig in, I just want to remind each and every one of you why we do this. And it's really because of our mission. Our mission is to guide federal employees towards retirement with confidence, clarity, and peace, transforming complex benefits, your complex benefits, into simple, lasting strategies that build that legacy, right? We want a future where every federal family can live with financial peace and transfer their wealth with purpose and leave a legacy that endures. Mike, I'm going to go ahead and roll over to you. Feel free to kick us off with shutdown.
All right, so as we know, if you're not new to the federal government, shutdowns happen. How you react to the shutdown, how you navigate the shutdown, that's what you're in control of. You're not in control of when you're going back to work, because really at this point we really don't know. But we can take control of what we do while we're not working. So we just have this chart here. We just wanted to show you that this isn't new. It has happened. And if you've been through it before, as JC said earlier, we're going to have a poll question. How many of you have been through a shutdown? And so that way you get an idea, so getting in that mind frame of this isn't anything new, but how I navigate it may be different than what I did last time. Okay. So what I want to do now is, you can go ahead to, the big question is, what should I do with my TSP during the shutdown? I get this all the time. It's like, Mr. Burns, what do I do? I've had people put all their money, put it in the G funds. I go over here for safety. What do I do? The question is, where are you at in your federal career and where do you want to be? If you're not near retirement, if you're not planning on retiring, you keep your money growing and you wait for the shutdown to end, because the shutdown will eventually end. Are you close to retiring and you're thinking about retirement, what is your current allocations and how does it fit your goal? But you should not let the shutdown be the reason that you're moving big amounts of money or large amounts of money of your TSP. It's a lot of uncertainty right now, and not moving on emotion, moving on logic and certainty is going to be what helps you here. Okay, so we have a poll question, and I just want to know, have you moved or changed your TSP investments during this shutdown?
Mike, it seems like quite a people have stayed the course. I know that you mentioned something to me when we were chatting. Why would you not want to move your TSP, or what are some things around the TSP that you should really be focusing on, given that we don't know how long the shutdown is going to be going on for?
So let's say hypothetically, you start to move things. Now you're basically saying, I think the market's going to do this, and I think the market's going to do that. Your TSP isn't a day trading account. Your TSP is a long-term account. And so you should look at it from a long-term perspective. Making any changes now or doing anything right now, you're going to be using emotion over strategy. And the goal for tonight is we're going to replace that emotion with strategy.
Fantastic. I love that. So another big question that we're getting is what happens to your benefits during the non-pay cycles?
So when you're going through these cycles, you don't have to worry about your health benefit. You don't have to worry about your FEGLI. That's going to be there for you. Even though you're not getting paid, your coverage is still there. Now, what does happen though in regards to your TSP is because you're not getting paid, there will be no contributions and the matching will be suspended. Unfortunately, when you get your back pay, they're not going to back pay your TSP. It's going to pick up from where it's at. Okay. And so this is why it matters, to have structure in place. So that way, when things like this happen, you're not scrambling or trying to make changes after the fact. So that's what this whole peace through preparation means. And what I tell people all the time is I actually do a peace of mind assessment is where if you have a plan in place and you're executing your plan, when the chaos from the administration or chaos from different things start happening, you already have your plan in place and you already know what your worst case scenario is.
Fantastic. James, I know you just answered a question regarding the FEHB open enrollment period. Mike, do you have anything to add on that? So James asked what happens if the government shutdown extends into the FEHB?
Is it yes or no?
So, okay, I see it there, JC. So, as of right now, OPM hasn't given any guidance towards what will happen if this goes through open enrollment. So for now, I really can't answer that with a clear answer. But once we get that answer, I'll make sure that. Is everyone muted?
Mike's voice, Ralph's voice.
Just
Everybody sounds like they just woke up.
oops. Guys, if you guys did turn on your chat by just a second, if you guys mute yourself.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'll start again, James, just to make sure you. Right now, OPM hasn't given any guidance, as far as the open enrollment. So I really can't answer that right now. But as soon as we do have an answer, we'll make sure on one of these calls, I'm going to make sure we get that answer to you. So we'll just take a note of that. As of right now, honestly, I don't know the answer to that. My best guess would be if they would just wait, and then once the government opened back up, then they would either extend or make a change to when open enrollment will be.
That makes perfect sense. And again, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A. We'll be answering these throughout the session.
So this is just some outside the box thinking. When you are going through a furlough or government shutdown, I do know in the DMV area especially, you can reach out to your bank. I know maybe Federal does this. Other credit unions maybe, and let them know you're being furloughed. I know Navy Federal, I think, is offering $700 to $1,000 depending on your account. That if you do direct deposit with them, and then they also have programs the governor of Maryland was talking about, and just let your creditors know. The biggest thing is not to sit in silence. Let people, let your creditors know what's going on. So that way it doesn't put you in an unnecessary financial bind. All right, so your retirement financial health. So we talked about the TSP earlier and making sure you're prepared and not have a plan have a plan in place. So at Fed Legacy, how we do things and basically what our mantra is building out that retirement financial health. So what you see here is when you're talking about your retirement financial health, you want to have money that's protected. So what I mean by protected, it's protected from you, it's protected from a shutdown, it's protected from inflation. It's money that's going to be there no matter what. For some people, they move money into the G fund, and that's their protection. There's other things you can do. Depending on your situation, we will break that down to you or what that looks like. Next, you have what's called the walls of your financial house. And those are going to protect you from the elements. The two biggest elements going into retirement are going to be taxes and inflation. So you want to make sure your money is growing more than inflation. And then if you don't have a tax strategy in place, you want to make sure that you have the tax strategy. Okay. And then last but not least, you have the roof. The roof of the house is going to be growth. You always going to want growth, even in going into retirement. So you put all these together to build out that financial house. So I'll just stop here because I know this may be foreign to some people, and in others that it may not be. But have you had your financial house built by Fed Legacy? That's our next poll question. So I can kind of get a gauge of who has this done, who hasn't. And then we can go into more detail when we get into question and answer.
That's fantastic, Mike. So we have a question from Marion. What is the process of drawing on your TSP if my cash runs out and I need to pay my bills? What are the pitfalls of that?
So it's a loaded question, Marion. It depends on your age. You can take a hardship withdrawal. If you're over 59 and a half, you can take you can take a regular withdrawal. It just really depends on what your needs are. It should be a last line of defense, but I understand you have to do what you have to do sometimes. If you're under 59 and a half, it's going to be a 10% early withdrawal.
Fantastic. I think this is a great question too to have during the slide. In this current time of chaos, how would you change your portfolio profile?
I wouldn't. And the reason that I say I wouldn't is because if my portfolio is already set up in a way where I know I have growth and I know I have protection, I'm gonna let it ride. Because this is temporary. Like, okay, for example, the beginning of the year, the TSP was getting beat up really, really bad, basically the whole first quarter. And so if you started making changes then and you make changes when things are chaotic, you're making changes in the downtime. And you don't want to do that. You want to make changes when you're thought out thinking more about long term.
Fantastic.
So let me look at the poll. I'm looking at the poll really quick and see where everyone is at. What's the results of the who've had their financial house built, JC?
So it looks like about 30% of people have worked with our team. Fantastic. But quite a bit of people have not just yet.
Okay. So this is what this is basically, how you start to build opportunity inside of uncertainty. All right. So what we try to do is we try to help you come up with this plan, and it's based around taxes and basically your retirement planning as well. Some of you may be familiar with Roth conversions. Some of you may not, but I'm going to basically explain how this all goes together and fits in that retirement financial house. So one of the pieces I talked about was basically having a tax strategy in place. So when we're talking about retirement, if you're not using the Roth, your money's going to be qualified. That's kind of to the question that we received earlier. If I take my money out right now, what's going to happen? If you're not 59 and a half, it's going to be taxed. And then also you're going to get hit with an additional 10%. When you're talking about retirement, you want to make sure you have a strategy in place where you're not paying the IRS, but you're paying yourself. Okay. And so part of that plan and part of putting that together is building that retirement financial house in a way where you're using those Roth conversions to pay the government as least taxes as possible. I have a personal saying, tax evasion is against the law, tax avoidance is American. So I want to be as American as possible and pay less taxes as possible. Okay. So I didn't want to take up too much time going, through the presentation. I want to make sure you guys can answer, basically ask your questions. So from here, I just want to have a real open forum and ask away. Anything you've heard, anything you want to get some clarity on. This is your time. Just go and let's talk. Let's have a conversation.